That's what you measure with a ruler. And that's no different than mythology. The Olympic gods. And the Olympic gods were human-like. They used to get mad, they were jealous, they would play tricks on people, kill people, and do all sorts of things. And this is what we are today, the Olympic gods. We have a temper. But if we read Isaiah, it talks about the plumb line. Now would you say that's weight or measurement? That's weight. And that's where the Almighty God is, straight up and down. And I will give you a couple of diagrams there so you'll understand it. Now you see that cross in there, they call that the TAU, T-A-U cross. And that's the cross that's from the neck down to the hips. And that's the same as the hull or the hold of a ship. Notice it? This is why they call those things that take the blood from the heart and bring it someplace else, the vessels. They really should be called tubes. Tubes. Simple. Now we know if you're in a ship, the lower deck is for your cabin, first, second, and third class. Because the lower you go, the class gets lower. And below that is the cargo room. And below that is the engine room. And what's the engine room? The engine room is that which makes the ship go. And that, my dear people, is the lower world. The lower world. One time in the engine room, they used to shovel coal in order to get the ship going, to get the steam going. You have to take on tons and tons of coal, and they have firemen down there, the same as they had in the steam locomotive on the railroad. No different. You see, the structure may be slightly changed, but it's the same thing. But in the upper deck, we have the helmsman, steers the ship, and we have the captain. But today, in our heart, because it had shifted a good portion of it into left field, there is no captain, there is no helmsman, and we're floating around helter-skelter. This is what we are today. And we're very insecure because because we have a structure that is not conducive for a normal person. So that means that our structures within us must change. And remember the law, structure determines function. Now we don't call these things mechanisms, we call them structures. So somebody came around later. Well, the Greeks had it this way. Of course, that line is right across where the belly button is, the equator. Then came this one, and I don't know who introduced it, but somebody did. And then someone came and took and put this up here. And of course, this is the Latin cross, this is the Greek cross, and this they call the Tor cross, which means this is when human was really beastly. But the day came a couple thousand years ago when we start rising into our heads a bit, because that's where the spirituality is. Upstairs. Down here, no. Up here, yes. Spirituality is in your head. And then, this is the Latin course. And then they decided to do this. And they call that the universal cross. Latin. And Latin has been our universal language. As much as I tried to get rid of it, our courts are still written in the Latin language, corpus delicti, and so forth and so on. Our laws are still there. It's still the universal language. But the day will come when that will also disappear. And that's why we're here. So, first thing we have to do is to get rid of our waste. Because our waste, W-A-I-S-T, has a lot of W-A-S-T in it, which is considered evil or sinful, whatever word you like. Not pure, impure. And we have to get rid of this tire around here. But it was a necessary evil because this fat around here protected us in order to get through this kind of structure that we have.